yourself outside one of the monasteries. A pretty spectacular one. You can see the big building going up as if it climbed up there and perched itself. It actually looks like it's the top of a huge tree, and the other half of it is laying on a rock.
Perky.
And the vomit splatter leads right up the huge branch, which works as a bridge for whoever intends to climb up to the monastery itself.
Susan thought he was done with climbing. He isn't. Presses forward.
Mm-hmm. Whoa.
There he goes.
Pushed a little bit too far there. Going
Out of here.
around, you notice a green flame burning atop a tower. Some other buildings. And the entrance seems to be a crane, which you have to operate manually to climb up.
Yeah.
The mechanism seems to be recently used, and the cage that works as a lift is at the top. It can be brought down easily enough, and with a bit more effort it can take you up to the level of the monastery itself.
And upwards I go.
The first thing you notice is this out of place lamp.
How is that lamp just floating there? This monastery is awesome.
You can see benches, stalls, and you can tell that this is a marketplace much like the other monastery. There is
Are there any-
an area in this where people come to sell and buy products.
Are there any people?
Yes. There's a bunch of people just going about their business. There aren't too many people outside right now because it's kind of late in the night.
Right.
But there are some people that use their tents both as a shop and their living quarters for the time they are visiting the monastery.
Okay. Would I be able to tell if the green flame atop the tower was magical or mundane?
Roll perception.
Oh boy. Let's see here, dice tray. Roll. What's my perception at? That's deception. Okay, perception. That's a +3. All right. Unnatural 20.
Okay. It seems to be magical. There doesn't seem to be any smoke coming from it. So the first thought is that it's magical.
Checks out. Okay, I guess season would start. Maybe. Here goes the streetwise of a very dumb man incoming. He might just tap someone on the shoulder and be like, "Hey, have you?" I think I saw a monk run through here, and they were barfing. They were like vomiting. Did you see that? Just anywhere,
Yeah.
anyone?
The person goes, "Yeah, can you believe that? They were mad as a
Yeah.
cat." And the other two with them just like shouting, "What is this? I thought this monastery was peaceful, you know? Not so much agony, so much pain."
God, I mean, where did they even go? What do you
He
think?
points at the stone structure, which is built on top of the rock part of the whole construct.
Oh wow.
Just points at it leisurely. I don't know, in there or something. I try to mind my own business. You know, I don't trust
Of
these
course.
cats.
Yes, I understand.
Their fur is all
And
up in my nose.
of course, naturally. And then those season would approach that building.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh jeez. Okay.
It seems like a temple. You can see just from the outside um, objects of worship in there of various gods, and there is two giant balls hanging from the ceiling. They seem to be rotating. They remind you of the two moons Tamriel has.
Hmm.
Somebody notices you from within,
Uh,
and rather hastily comes towards you and urges you to wait outside because the temple is not accessible at the moment.
uh, Season would nod and be like, "Of course, of course." However, I was just wondering. I saw someone, a monk, of some kind, running through here, and they seem to be, having quite the tummy trouble. I just wanted to check in and see if they were okay. You see, they actually know me. I'm actually a good friend of theirs. We're di- distantly related, like second removed cousins, and I've been told to keep a watch over them as a new visitor to the Citadel. And just hearing this just
Damn it.
really scratched me the wrong way. So
Mhm. They don't seem to believe you by any chance. Um,
well,
they recognize the situation. They look down in same. They look back towards the people that are inside behind them. Well, this is a Khajiit person.
mhm.
Well, someone seems to have taken a little bit more skooma than they can handle. Please
Is
show
he
patience and wait outside before this goes even worse. And then looks back, even though I'm not sure for whom the situation is gonna be worse. Hmm?
I see. Um. Ooh. Season. He would ask, So when will the temple open up then?
This one can tell for sure that the temple will be open tomorrow morning on the first light of the day.
That might be too late. I believe last time, when we were like watching the other monks go at it in the secret meeting spot, that we could all tell that they were from different monasteries. Yes.
Yes.
And then I got a report from that man previously that they all went to this monastery together. Three people.
Yeah.
One person barfing and two others.
Yep.
Okay. So, can I look at him and can I see if he's just doing his job? If he's like mad at someone? If he's trying to hide something? I try to look at him and
he seems to be mad at the barfing monk, and he is trying to conceal the whole situation. He doesn't want to admit that there is a monk throwing up in the backside of the temple.
I see.
Yeah. And you can hear shouting coming from the inside, like, I don't know if you speak Khajiit.
I do.
So then you can understand that it is an old Khajiit scolding a monk, shouting like things. Where were you? What were you doing? What is this situation? Why are you like this? What about the others you came with?
Susan can relate. Why are you like this?
Why can't you be normal?
Why can't you be normal?
Skooma hissing.
Season might try to shout over the person that's trying to keep me out rather, and be like, I might have some details, on where they were and what they were doing.
The person
Cousin, you recognize this voice, yes?
The person in front of you just is flabbergasted, just shocked. He looks back. You can see an old Khajiit dressed in robes as well, appearing in the back.
Yeah, I definitely say all of this in Khajiit.
I'm gonna pop a Gandalf here.
Oh boy. Papa Gandalf sounds like some extraordinary slang.
Yeah, I'll use this one. This one is from Witcher. So the older Khajiit comes up to you at the door of the temple and says, half in Khajiit, half in common, this one there, what do they know? What is going on with my monks?
I know many things. Would I know what the relationship is between monasteries?
The information that is widely available is that the monasteries have some differences between them, and there has been occasional conflict between them, not necessarily blooded conflict or anything like that. But they
Okay.
generally try to be at a good relationship with one another, even though it's just typical civil situation, you know.
Yeah, Susan would nod his head and say, I'm here from a favor from the what was the monastery that the guy almost got assassinated at? See the what was it called? Susan would know this. I didn't
Yeah.
write it down.
I don't think I've written down it either.
Then it's the other one.
Yeah. The other one.
The other.
The elsewhere.
The elsewhere. Yes. Susan would say, yes, and I'm coming from for a favor from the elsewhere temple.
The other one is the Amtaba monastery.
The Antabana.
Amtaba. I'm sending in the hints. And this one is the Hazazi. Hatsazi?
Okay. Well, come on up here. Okay. I'm here from the Amtaba monastery as a favor for a friend of from the master of the temple there. He almost got assassinated by a group of assassins hired by the Smugglers Guild. And I'm here to investigate some causes of that. I believe that one of your monks may be related to the case. I'm here to ask some questions.
His first reaction to what he hears is, did he survive?
Yes, indeed. He is safe and healed his wounds.
He takes a moment to think about it. Okay. And how are these one's monks related to this?
Susan mulls over how much she should reveal. Screw it. Susan's going to say, there is a little training spot that a couple of monks from various other monasteries have set up out in a cave forest mix thing. Little hidden thing where they practice some less than, what's the word I'm looking for? Good. Not very refined techniques. Lethal training, and the like. And so that's why I found this one. One of your monks.
Why is lethal training not good?
Well, I believe generally the monasteric practices, at least from the Amtaba monastery, was using non-lethal blows to maximum effect. But lethal training was what they were doing.
And this one from Antaba almost died. Then what good is their training if it doesn't provide any protection? And he just mutters to himself, goes back in. So let's say this one is the master, the model looks older, and this one is the younger one that came first.
Okay.
The master goes back in and begins again to shout at the Khajiit, You can tell there is someone else back there. And it appears to be the monk that was buffing all the way here. They are barely standing up. And the arts monk starts yelling at them again. What are you doing? Slaps them across the face. What do you know about the assassination attempt? Where were you hiding? Why are you hiding? Are you training secretly with other monks? And the poor monk just tries to stay standing and not fall down from the pushing around. And
Season feels a little bad that he subjected a person to this indirectly.
yeah. And the interrogation continues, and the Kaji tries to answer as many questions without giving away too much information. And at this point, they don't bar you from entering. This one is just standing on the side. You could walk in, although it seems this one at least is aiming to leaving the young Khajiit inside and leaving the temple.
Yeah, Season would let the master out before coming inside himself.
The master leaves, saying to this monk that they are gonna find the others and know as many details as there are for this, because no one steals their disciples like this. And if there is a secret gathering, he wants all these monks to come train to this monastery. If all the other arts monks are failing so bad, he might as well take the opportunity to teach all the monks that there are in this place. And he leaves, going towards this building, which seems to be the biggest, seems to be the quarters of the arts monk and the palace in some sense.
Right. Okay, well, let's go ask a cat some questions. Try to get the cat out of the bag.
There are multiple ways to skin a cat.
Oh shit.
You get inside, you are followed by the cleric, let's say, a few steps back from you. You can see the Khajiit just laying on a bed. Bandages on their belly, a few herbs next on the side, on the end table. They're sipping on some tea, eating some food, and just they're crunched. They are holding their tummy, and there is not a bucket, or something like a bucket next to them, which is halfway filled with vomit, and a very bad smell comes out from that.
Jesus.
Yeah, people die from that thing.
Yeah, I cast it at a very high level. Season doesn't know that, but he almost killed a guy. Season's going to is it like a bed on the floor, or is it like got a bed frame and stuff?
Yeah, it's a bed frame. It's like a medical bed.
Yeah. If he could, he would try to sit not on the bed, but like on a nearby surface, either a table or another bed, or
There is a stool you can bring next to the bed.
yeah. He pulls up a stool, and says, "Hi, long time no see."
This one feels even worse looking at you than they feel for the pain in their stomach.
Yes, I'm. You should really. I mean, like that's an incredible allergy response. I mean, that's wild. He's. I look. I'm sorry. I don't know what my friend had on him that you're so allergic to, but I'm sorry that it got this bad. I mean, this is. Season isn't laughing as hard as I am, but he's certainly stifling something.
Okay.
Uh, so, he could Season look at him. How old does this Khajiit look like?
It is a young female Khajiit, like
Uh,
maximum 30 years old.
yeah. Season isn't. Season's 20, but he's gonna look at him and says, "Ah, the throes and wildness of youth. What a time to be alive." Um, I was wondering, um, do you know? Oh God, I didn't write it down. What was his name?
Who are you looking for?
I'm looking for the guy from the Am Amtaba monastery who was rebellious and going to that that secret hiding spot that was rebellious against the current master of the Ambata for using non-lethal techniques and stuff, and saying like we could have absolutely, and like encouraging like an uprising and killing a bunch of commoners and stuff and common smugglers.
I think the name was Caprice.
Caprice.
Yeah.
Oh, very interesting. The rogue. He'd saddle up, say, "Hey, do you know of the name Caprice?"
They don't answer verbally, but by the body language, you can tell that they definitely know this person. Like,
Fascinating.
mm,
Can I turn around? Can I look between? Hold on. I'm sorry, I've forgotten my manners. He holds out his hand. My name's Season.
they reluctantly take it and answer with their name. This one is Zahanabi.
Great. Okay. Completely forgot the question I was about to... Oh, right. Can I look between Zahaniho, and the cleric that's following me, and would I be able to tell that she's being reluctant with information because he's in the room?
Yeah, she doesn't seem to be very fond of the cleric's presence when revealing that kind of information. And she wouldn't be either way, but the monk makes it even worse. She is more concerned about the monk's reaction and the fact that he's gonna tell on her to the head monk, to the archmonk.
Okay. Just throw. Okay. Now, if a person succeeds on charm person, they don't know that they specifically were trying to be charmed. So I'm going to Oh god, this is probably gonna go horribly. But Season doesn't know that he's doing this, but he's going to cast Charm Person at 2nd level. And try to charm both of them.
Okay.
And it is a big DC 13.
Well, they are both charmed.
Okay! Let's go! Alright. Season's gonna... Man, the win condition was either one of them, but getting both of them is great. Well, I'm just so charmed to meet you both. Would you please... This is a private conversation, I'm sure you understand. Would you step out of the room for a moment? And he looks up to the cleric.
Oh, this one would be very pleased.
Of course.
Steps outside.
Then he's going to look at her again and say, okay, so, Caprice, what do you know about him?
Caprice is a very strong fighter. He is the champion of Amtaba Monastery. After he defeated the other monk, the other wannabe champion. We trust that he has the right way, that he is right in wanting to train in different traditions, different disciplines, and breaking away from the conservative views of the current monastery leaders.
Right. When you happen to know if he's had anything to do with, smugglers?
We have been in contact with the smugglers, yes, to get some materials and other objects in the cave without anyone noticing. We are not allies with the smugglers, but we have worked with them to supply our cave with much needed stuff.
Indeed. You do have quite a few items in there.
And even weapons. Most importantly, weapons.
Checks out. Now... smuggled... to... Fighter champion... Oh boy. Would you happen to know anything about Lars?
I know Lars is something like the head of the smugglers. She doesn't seem to know exactly what Lars is doing, but she knows that Lars is high in the hierarchy of the smugglers, and their business with the smugglers required Lars's approval before it started.
And are you... Now, just a point of clarification. Was just the Ambata monastery tasked with dispatching of the smugglers, or...
The Ambata monastery seems to be the most keen on dealing with the situation. The others just ignore it or go along with it.
Right.
They don't put any effort in that specific thing.
were you aware that the priest was going against orders when he smuggled, when he dealt with the smugglers?
Of course, this one knew that we were all going against our monastery traditions. That is the point of the whole group. We are bored of our masters being idle in situations where even our leaders are vulnerable to assassinations. If I am aware the leader of the Amtaba monastery survived the assassination attempt against him only because of your and some other fighters' presence.
It's true.
This shows how weak the monasteries have become under the traditional disciplines that have been taught since now.
What do you think should be taught instead?
The disciples should be taught to take more action, to be more involved with the things around them than just stay perched on their monasteries, cooped up like chickens. They should be like tigers pouncing on their prey.
Okay. Oh my god, I keep having questions and then it's disappearing. Would... Oh no. Let's see here. Oh right, how often do you meet up in this secret meeting place?
It's about once in 2 months, the regular meetups, but there are more unscheduled, spontaneous meetups of whoever wants to go there and spar with someone. And there might be some pre-scheduled meetings, example being her wanting to train with some other monk from the other monasteries. She's going to inform him and they will meet up there on the scheduled time.
Right.
Yeah.
And the meeting that you just went to was one of those?
It was a sparring meetup.
I see.
An appointment of claws.
And how big is this group of people that meet up here? There.
More of us gather to these meetings with each one of them. If I were to tell you the number that gathered on the last one, would be a lie. There will be even more on the next one. And since the failed assassination attempt, more will realize the weakness of our masters, and then they will flock to us to see a better way, to see a better discipline.
Alright, well, ballpark it for me. Give me just a range. What are you thinking of? What do you think the next meetup is gonna look like?
The next meetup would have something like more than 100 monks.
Shit.
And that's more than some of the smaller monasteries have.
Well. Wow. Interesting. Do you know how long this has been going on for?
all this ordeal has been going on for more than a few months. Since one of the masters was had an accident and broke their leg. An even older master than this one. And she means her own master, the master of this monastery.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Can this one imagine a cat that doesn't land on its feet, let alone break one of them?
They don't care. Season would move on to then Jesus, 100. That's like a third of the size of Umbata, isn't it?
Yeah, Dambata is a big one.
Yeah. Okay. Would... Oh, God. Come on, you've got to know something. I just gotta ask the right question. How much... Be honest. Season says, as she is currently under the charm spell. How much skooma are you drinking? Like, is this like, at these meetings, is it like a sober thing, or is it like sort of casual and also dueling and also drugs?
She answers like...
Season has ran out of questions!
One or two bowls, which is enough for... It's a reasonable amount for a month to consume 1 or 2 bowls of skooma. And you're like, a month, right? And she's like, no, it's 1 or 2 bowls a week. And at the meetups, everybody is free to consume as much as they want, if they do not cause any trouble to the other ones present. We don't have regulations on anything regarding personal consumption of food or other substances.
How did you afford all of this?
The monasteries produce their own skooma. It's one of the ways they make money.
Right. That'll do it. And so, for the smugglers' money, did you cut some money for yourself off of the skooma monastery money?
Some of us went on extra work doing jobs for local employers to make more money to afford our needs for the meetups. Some other monks that had some money available just provided for the group.
How nice.
And there is another monastery, a small one, that willingly gave some of the monastery money to the group.
He would Season quirks his head at that. So sorry, how secret is this meetup? How many people know about it? How many monasteries? I was under the impression that this meetup place was generally disapproved by all of the monasteries.
Most of them, yes. And we as disciples try to keep it hidden from our superiors and our elders. knowing that they will never accept its existence. But now that the cat's out of the bag, the information has started leaking out a lot.
Hmm.
Metaphorically and literally, and she throws up in the bucket.
Wow. You should take there's this really neat tool that I use, and it clears up the nostrils really really well. Incense doesn't do that. You've got too much incense going on in here, and it's messing things up. Maybe you're allergic to incense. Maybe that's the thing that's been really messing you up. Just the allergy activated, and now you're really not recovering in this state. So what was the monastery that gave you money? Are there any monasteries that actually approve of this meetup spot, or?
There is only one monastery that approves of this, the Kada Monastery.
Hot dog? Alright. Let me just copy. Oh yeah, that's a nice name. 4 letters. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm impressed.
Do you know if they started the meeting place, or?
Their leader died a few years ago, and the current one is a very ambitious monk. And seeing the opportunity to influence and work with monks from other monasteries, he is one of the initial initiates. He and some other monks from other monasteries, along with Caprice, started the whole thing.
Okay. Do you happen to know? Now I'm just going through my notes. I'm just treating this person like Google, and I'm just inputting random keywords. But would you know anything about Alfic? Alfic? The cat sort of thing? Magical abilities? I just have this. Season's looking at he's pulled out a notebook and he's looking at it and it's like, I put down Alfic and I put down cat after it. Magical cat. What
Alfic is a member of the Khaziit species. They look like house cats. And they often have magical abilities.
Are they intelligent or just an animal?
She seems kind of frustrated by the question. Alfic are as sentient as you and me. They are no different in terms of intelligence. Right. It's just that their appearance and their body stature is that of a cat.
Right. Checks out. How many... Do you know any Alfic?
My sister is Alfic. Okay. She's not a monk. She's in some other city, working as a novice conjurer.
I see. Any Alfic here in the city, among the monasteries at all?
Our monastery doesn't have any Alfic members, although others have. And you can recall that the Ambata monastery had a few cats lying around.
I see. Couple. Is that... Okay. Noted.
Mhm.
Could you... Look at her. Give me 1 second. Oh boy, I'm regretting how I take notes now. I just have a line that says Two Tails Anka. Two Tails AKHNA. Akana.
Two Tails Zahana
Zahana. Woof. My bad.
is
Don't
one of the smugglers in the city,
Right.
along with Akar the Light.
Right. Okay. Great.
Yeah, you can see it in the hints.
Oh, thank you. That's great. A car. Oh, wow. That's a. Okay. Yeah, I see you. Two Tails. Yeah. Fantastic. I guess. Yeah. Smuggler. Okay. Jesus. Is there any particular reason other than like how do I phrase this question without sounding incredibly rude? No, I'll phrase it incredibly rude. Is there any other reason besides basic moral dignity that the Ambata monastery is more interested in getting rid of the smugglers than any other monastery?
This one does not know Misar's motives. That's the name of the monastery leader. This one can only imagine that the so-called moral code is part of their disciplines or their tradition. And Misar has taken up this mission to somehow cleanse the city and make his monastery look the strongest if he finally succeeds in taking care of the smugglers who are so present in the city.
Okay.
If he was aiming to prove his power by working against other monasteries, then the monasteries would cooperate with one another against him. And that would not have been a failed assassination attempt, if you know what this one means.
Season does not know what she means.
Roll an
Season
insight.
has a really dumb look on his face.
Roll an insight.
He's got +5 to that. So that's a 22.
First of all, the monks are pretty capable fighters. They seem to be generally more competent than the assassins you saw.
Mm-hmm.
And Caprice himself said that the master is the only thing standing between him and becoming a successful master of his own. So even Caprice himself could attempt to take Misar out of the picture.
Huh. Now this is... This is a weird thing to ask, but from my little interactions I've had with Caprice, would I be able to tell why he isn't taking over the monastery? Why he doesn't challenge the master and become the master?
Going against your own master is dishonorable and looked down upon by every monastery. It is treacherous.
Right. Well,
And shows ungratefulness towards the person that has taught you so much. Even if you consider them to be even if you consider their disciplines to be obsolete, it is still them who have taken you in.
see. So you won't do it out of honor.
Yes,
Not doing
that
it.
is a difference between us and the smugglers.
Season would raise an eyebrow at that.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
A couple things. Mostly they're working out of sewers, and you're living in palaces. I meant to come up with a point that made you guys sound better and sympathetic, and the smugglers sound bad and unsympathetic, but that's the only point I can come up with, and it makes them sound like the ones fighting against the system. But, struggling, pitiful. Well, I mean, notably, like, they're, I mean, horrible for the city. And I was mostly under the impression that the monasteries help improve this city instead of turning it into crime time. Susan has a really weird look on his face as he makes that rhyme.
The monasteries and the monks in general don't infringe on people's lives. We only wish to better ourselves. What the everyday
And
people
that's-
and the civilians do is none of our concern. We are only concerned about the civilians when they are within the walls of our monasteries.
Very isolationist. And I will say that would probably be the most distinct difference between you and the smugglers, is that they are as interconnected as possible, while meanwhile you isolate yourselves as much as possible. Why am I saying this? It doesn't matter. Who cares? I'm not your whatever.
Legal representative.
Season's like obviously just making himself look dumb, but she's gonna pull out his map of Drug Bell that he got in session 1, and a person said that he got scammed for it. And he's gonna hold it up to her. He's gonna say, "Is this a bad map? Is this an accurate map?"
This map only has the tourist traps. Where did you get this from?
Oh, great. I got it from a scammer, apparently.
You see, it doesn't even have this particular monastery in it because it's not
jeez.
very cosmic. It's not tourist friendly, so to speak.
Oh my god! I think I think the compass on here is like wrong. It's like 30 degrees off from where north should be. Wow, this is a horrible map.
Yeah. Instead of the monastery, it only has the tree there and the rock.
It's just a weird, crooked, like
huge ass tree.
2-year-old drawing. Okay. Well. Shit. I believe I've asked you literally everything I know. And thus you know everything I know. Isn't that fun? The information is such a fascinating concept. Looks so out of it. He looks so, like, estranged. Where? How many masters, how many champions are in the meeting? I'm under the impression that each monastery has a champion that is not the master. And how many champions do come to the meeting place?
At this very moment, there are over 25 champions, let's say. The only monastery that has only one champion, because they have had their competition, is the Ambatu monastery. Our monastery hasn't had a proper competition to determine a champion, so you could say that there are 4 champions on this monastery.
Okay.
And not all of them are part of the meetups.
Right. Okay. Well, what's the deal with that flame?
This is an everlasting flame. We have it lit like so that if by any chance the moons go out, we still have a source of light. And you can also tell, she tells you, that these lanterns that light up the place have their candles and their fuses lit by the light of this fire. So if somebody doesn't actively put out the fire of the candles and the fuses and the lanterns and so on, it will never go off. It will never go out.
Interesting. Wow. Floating orbs, what's their deal?
They represent the moons.
Okay.
These are
I got that impression.
The 2 visible ones, and there is also this one representing the third one, which isn't always visible. We use these mechanisms to calculate the phases of the moons to know fate, and to know what kind of Khajiit will be born.
Yeah, okay. This monastery is definitely cooler than the first one I visited.
We do not allow every random person inside. We try to keep it as truly monastical as possible. We do not need every penny of every civilian blindly enthusiastic about our incense, moonsugar, or any of our rugs. This monastery also produces very nice rugs.
Good for them. Okay. I'm imagining you're in a lot of trouble right now.
I believe this one believes Master will chop up my tail and feed me every piece one by one.
Now, hold on. So, I'm imagining that this whole conversation has been happening in Khajiit. Seasons steps out and is like, hold on. So it's been a while since I speak to Argara. So, was that sarcasm? Was that hyperbole? Or are you actually scared for your life? Because I can, like, get you out of here if need be.
She looks down. Had it been any other master, I believe it would have been literal. But seeing that I am still alive, I'm guessing it was sarcastical.
Right. Oh, and yes,
Sarcastic.
where do you think your other friends are that came here?
They put me on the lift. Made sure some other monk brought me here, and they left. They are from other monasteries. They
Right.
weren't invited or welcome here.
Right. Checks out. Oh, can you tell me what monasteries they are from, just in case?
Mm-hmm.
And their names. Preferably. So that I can think of more time to think of more questions. Get some more time to do that. Let's see.
Yes. One of them is Amtabe from the Zargal monastery. And the other one was Arav from the Dalina monastery.
Okay. Noted. I hope.
I sent the names on the hints.
Oh, thank God. I was like, I'm definitely not spelling this right. Okay. Yeah, that checks out. Okay. He's gonna look at her and be like, well, you were surprisingly cooperative. Honestly, this whole city has been nothing but, like, liars, scammers, and, like, kind of mean people. You're one of the good ones. Not sure if I'm allowed in here quite, but
This one thanks you for your compliments.
Oh yeah, you're great. You're fantastic. I hope you don't literally die. It would be bad. And also, let's see, maybe. I was unfortunate. He hasn't prepped any full spells. He's gonna leave, and on his way out, they're like little motes of light, pop from like under his cloak from where he can't see it, and sort of float around. Oh no, Zahanel, and sort of sort of like sprites playing around her, and then they sort of disperse in motes of light. And he cast dancing lights and then dispelled it. And so, Season didn't see any of this shit, but his goodwill just sort of materialized it in front of for her. But he exits the temple, and I guess I don't even know where Season's gonna go next. That was a lot of good information. Thing is I'm out of questions. I'm so terrified that I'm going through my notes and then I forget something vital. And then I'm like, no! But I think... Okay. Season's going to... I mean... Maybe... Go try to talk. Oh god.
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, sure. I'm just gonna go to the master of this temple.
The cleric?
Sure, I'll go to the cleric.
Or the monastery, or the chief of the monastery.
Yeah, he went into the palace. That seems a little inaccessible to just visitors. Season's gonna relay all of the information that he learned, but try to soften it, and make it sound like not as bad for Zana's behalf. Try to cover her ass a little bit. Relay all of that to the cleric. And then be like, would you... No, you wouldn't know anything about the smugglers. You're just a dude. Season looks dismayed.
I'm just a Khajiit with a rocket launcher.
What? What's a rocket launcher?
Gas guide mode.
Gas guide. Oh. Okay. Gotta get out of here, I guess. Relays all of that information to the cleric. Hopefully he relays that back to them. And then... Shit. I mean... I guess... Okay. Objective. Find Lars. That's a decent objective. What?
Make Lars find you.
Make Lars find you. That's another good point. Okay, sure. Jason's gonna go to the city, take a slab because it's in the middle of the night. It's gonna wake up, and he's gonna try. I think he's gonna go try to make Lars find him by going down into probably the sewer bar real quick and being like, hey, I need to talk with the boss. To just anyone. To just being like, yeah, I need to talk with the boss. Just trying to pretend as if he knows Lars. Being like, yeah, I need to talk with the boss. I need to find some people. Just a quick, you know how it is. You know how it is. Me and him, we're old. bodies. Would this is hilariously dangerous. Would Season know of any other big crime lord names?
Terminal had
Besides Lars?
mentioned someone.
Oh boy, did he?
It's the captain of the ship that brought him and Flynn here. What's her name?
Yeah, actually.
Man. I can't remember her name. Anyway, it's the captain of the ship that brought Terminal and Flynn here. She has been doing business with the smugglers.
Great.
And
Yeah.
Lars, specifically.
Gonna go up to one of the smugglers in the underground den, or maybe if he just recognizes someone, in the Overcity, and be like, "Hey, I'm here on behalf of that lady that I know the name of because of Terminal." His mouth becomes like a black bar, comes over it, and there's the censor bleep. That we both understand this name. I'm on behalf of her. We have a shipment coming in. There's been a complication, and we're gonna need to talk with Lars. So he's just gonna try to find like the highest ranking smuggler, and see what happens after he says that.
Roll deception.
Oh boy, he's not good at that. Can I say that I used Voice of the Emperor to get advantage?
Of course, yeah.
Great. Deception. Oh boy, a big +1, so let's... Okay!
It can't be a +1. What's your presence?
My personality is +1. It's a 12.
Okay.
So... And I'm not proficient in deception, but I did get a 18 on the deception roll.
Mm-hmm.
So, how you like me now?
Oh, of course. I heard there was some trouble. They 100% agree with you.
Seasons like there's been trouble? I was bullshitting this. I'm so lucky. Yeah, so I need to...
And they take you to a balcony where there is a bunch of armed guards. You know, it's so hot that everybody has some frost salts in their pocket to keep them cool. And there is a very talkative guard. Are there any ones without their weapons out? Yes, this one. This one matches the description Terminal gave of the Breton spell sword, who doesn't carry any weapons, yet is always armed. He uses conjured weapons. And on said balcony, there is... not this one. There is a woman speaking with a very well-dressed man. And they are enjoying a very luxurious meal while playing a game of chess. The Breton accompanies you to them and lets you speak to them.
Dear God. This will only go badly. Susan's gonna walk up to the chessboard to the match. Who's winning?
Good question. Where's my dice? The lady got a natural 1 and the dude
Woof.
got a 14, so I'm guessing the dude's winning.
Yeah. Poor unfortunate.
Yeah, they have blundered. The woman has blundered her queen badly.
So unfortunate.
Yeah.
Season is just cringing at the board. Ooh boy. Wow. This is not good. That's real bad. You done messed up.
Hmm.
And just sort of he completely forgot about his main objective and is now just looking at the chessboard, be like, wow, this is really wow. Okay. Oh wow, interesting move there. Just obnoxious. And
Yeah.
he's gonna keep doing that until someone addresses him.
When the match is over, the woman turns to you angrily and seems like she's going to take all her anger on you. Is it something you wanted, Cancer? Or were you just observing our match? He looks at the guard. He doesn't say anything, he just shrugs. The dude turns to you, addresses you and said, "What would this gentleman require this beautiful day?" And swipes the sweat from his brow.
Full and incredibly exhausting. I am out of my depth. Say. Well,
If it is about the missing crates from the recent shipment, I assure you it was a misfortune.
Season immediately is going right into his role as someone else entirely. Gonna be like, oh, I understand. I was just asking on behalf of her and wondering if it was how do I put this? Intentional misfortune. You understand how those go. Man, you're rolling a lot of dice, and I'm gonna keep talking.
No, I'm just fidgeting, don't worry.
Okay. I was like, Season's gonna die. Season just took 17 attacks. Yes, of course. We were just wondering if these crates that have gone missing were some either a mistake or a mistake. And he puts air quotes up. And of course it wasn't on our end, so we'd ask you to clarify a few points for us, if you'd be so kind.
It would be worse than a simple misfortune if it was a mishandling, but I wouldn't by any means account a rough seas to be something caused by incompetence or somebody's malevolence. If you know of any Sats watermancer, please let me know. I would really like to have them under my services, under my payroll. You never know when you need the sea to cooperate, if you know what I mean.
Quite. Because I've been on the sea lots. Season winks for some reason.
The Breton kind of just looks at you dumbfounded. Continuing, we will try to compensate you however we can best. In regards to the lost shipment, I'm sure you would appreciate some gifts. And
Oh, naturally.
he looks at you with a side eye. Gifts of local cuisine, if you catch my drift, to sweeten the deal.
Indeed. And that would only be a sweetener. I'd prefer if most of it were in, I almost said something that made it sound like I wanted skooma even more. But I just want the compensation that would be best on her behalf would be just septums, just raw septums. Sweetening the deal with skooma would be good. Season is fully ignoring the euphemisms and like little playful talk that he's doing. And can I get just look at him and see how much like money is on the table right now for the compensation?
Roll an insight or a straight intelligence check.
Susan is very insightful and very dumb, so he's gonna do insight. So that's a 22.